send
They're
something
wonderful.
to you.
And I would say most of them are quite troubled. I mean, I look out into the audience and it's like looking into tiny mirrors, you know? They all remind me of myself, and they're all, so many of them have, you know, they're insecure, or they hate their parents, or they don't fit in at school, or they're, you know, they're cutters, or they're depression, or, and some of them are 9 and just like pop music, and some of them are 35 and, you know, are on a night out in the town with the boys, and it varies, but I would say that there's a vast majority of them that are quite troubled and looking to fit in, and they feel like freaks, and they want to go out to raise their freak flag high above their head and be freed. And that's what the show is all about. The show is a safe place for them. And that's what I say at the very beginning of the show. I say, I created this show. I created the Monster Ball so that my fans would have a place to go, a safe place. An electric chapel.
Like a hat. It's their hat. Social canopy.
A social canopy.
Our next question is from Jennifer from New York. And Jennifer's question is, how has your fame affected your relationships with your friends and family, if at all?
At one point, you know, it's hard on people. And, you know, at one point I was slightly insensitive about it because I was like, what's the big deal? Because I have zero concept of my fame or what that even means, or how big or small I am, or how culturally relevant or irrelevant I am. So I was slightly insensitive at first. And, you know, I had arguments with my parents, and, you know, I said, you know, you guys got to get it together. You have to stop freaking. It was hard, you know, for everyone. I don't want my parents to be incessantly asked about me all the time, or my friends, or can you ask her to do this? Or, you know, it's difficult on friends and family, but we made it through. And I think part of making it through is that I started to grow up a little bit and for myself be able to understand how my career has affected the people that I love, and I've been able to kind of be more about it, which I wasn't able to do before, because and I still, to be quite frank, I have no fucking clue how people perceive me. So my mom sometimes is like trying to explain it to me, and I'm like, Mom, what are you trying to say? And she doesn't, you know, but she, in another way, I think that my friends and family love that about me, because I'm still very much just an Italian girl from New York that's been, you know, that's got a lot of light on her face and is trying to follow the spotlight, but doesn't really know what's going on. So I'm very naive in that way. So it's okay now. Everyone's good. I haven't really lost anyone. A few people, but you know, your real friends, the real people that you love, they're there.
Brilliant.
Oh, I'm gonna have to pee soon. I'm gonna die.
Fantastic. Okay, we're over halfway through, which is good, I think. We're making good time. Okay, our next question was asked by Star from Pittsburgh and also Bryce from Houston.
That's a lovely name.
Do you ever wish that you weren't famous?
Do I ever wish I wasn't famous? Well, I've always been famous. Nobody knew about it. Fame is on the inside. It's not on the outside. So I guess you could say the fame is something that I've always felt. And that thing I want my fans to feel. That self-love, that inner confidence. But do I wish I wasn't famous today in the media definition of what fame is? No. I don't wish I wasn't famous. I do wish sometimes I had more privacy and could get drunk and vomit in a corner and not be photographed or videoed while doing it. But, you know, there's sacrifices that you make. And the trade-off in that question is, if I wasn't famous, I wouldn't have all of you. You know, I wouldn't have all my little monsters if I wasn't famous. And I would never give that or them up for anything. So, no. Oh. They wanted to let me know I could stop for a pee break.
Okay. Do you want to do the pee break?
No, it's okay.
Shall we go on?
I'll be fine.
I need to pee too.
You have to pee too?
But I think maybe it's going to sharpen us up and we'll get these questions out really quick.
Okay.
Let's try. Let's see if it works.
Urgency.
Okay. Our next question is by Colin McDowell from London. And his question is, you are seen as super ballistic, space age modern, but what do you feel about the dress of past centuries as a basis for your costumes?
Does he mean like 1800s, 1700s?
I think so. I think he means kind of the idea that there are ideas culled from the past in these. They look very futuristic, but you could maybe look at the shape. Oh yes,
well we've done that. I mean the MTV performance outfit was quite romantic, but yet very futuristic because it bled on its own. I think it's important to I think, you know, a knowledge of what has been done before is very important. I think that it's important to know what has happened before, but I also think it's important to be original and strive for, and I'm still working on it, you know. I mean, I reference constantly, but I have most recently felt that I've had some really, truly original moments, and if you get one really good original moment your whole career, you're solid. So I push for that every day.
Brilliant. Okay. Our next question is by Jordan Holloway from Morgantown in West Virginia, I believe. What is the craziest outfit you've seen worn by one of your monsters at the Monster Ball?
Craziest? Well, I don't know. They're all so great. I love when they get all dressed up. It's so amazing. Sometimes I get distracted during the show because I'm just lollying, looking out into the audience. One of my favorites, which was quite committed, was this boy came dressed fully as Kermit the Frog, because it was when I brought Kermit as my date. And I guess he wanted me to think my boyfriend was in the audience, because Kermit was my boyfriend at the time. So I thought that was quite committed, because he had the full head mask, like the whole thing, and it was so hot. It was back when I was doing the Faint Ball, so it was more a club, it was a nightclub. So it was so blistering hot. I was thinking, he is so committed in that suit. But there's been some amazing ones. I mean, they're always amazing. The caution tape, the cone heads, the cigarette glasses burning in the audience while I'm jumping up and down and people are screaming. The crystal dresses, crystal hats, the mirrored outfits, I mean, I couldn't possibly choose one. They are all so wonderful. But I liked his because he didn't make it, and it was so difficult to wear, and he was so hot, so I thought he really suffered for his moment. And so I noticed it.
Suffered for his art.
He suffered for his art.
Fantastic. Okay. Our next question is from Kristin Fritz in Minnesota. What is the one thing that you hope your fans take away from you as a person and your music?
I want them to love themselves.